This is our second day hiking at Bryce Canyon National Park, and today we are going to do the Fairyland Loop. We're going to start at Fairyland Point and then end up at Sunrise Point.
Be close to Sunrise Point, and then we'll walk the rim trail back to Fairyland.
The trail is rated at strenuous. It's about an 8-mile trail, and it says it'll take 4 to 5 hours, so we'll see how we do. Well, as we read, there are a lot less people on this trail than the other trails that are more within the park. And we also read that on this trail you're more likely to see wildlife, but we haven't really seen anything, so we'll see what we come across. Spectacular views. And then there's this guy. What do you think of the hike so far?
I'm loving it. I'm trying to name a rock.
He's got lots of ideas.
I saw the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, and this is the Fairyland Loop, so it'd be aptly named. I saw Cubert, the old Atari game. I don't even know why that popped into my head, but it did. And I said, I'm going to get famous for naming something in this park. And Lindsay said, yeah, it's going to be a plaque where I pushed you off the trail. So if I don't come back, you know who to look for.
Well, yesterday we were walking along the rim on the way back. And instead of asking me to move over, he just pushes me and says, move over.
It worked.
So I told him I owe him one. So I'm saving it up for a big push. And it might just be over the side of Bryce Canyon. We're kind of out in the middle of the canyon now, and we've got these more narrow paths that we're kind of weaving our way in and around different rocks, I guess.
Yeah, crossing several ridges. So you get panoramic views on either side, which is awesome.
Yeah, everywhere. We're really getting to see a big chunk of the canyon. We're covering a pretty big area. It's about 8 miles. So when we get to, actually really the first major stop will be Tower Bridge, which is named after the London Tower Bridge. And that's about 4 miles in, so once we reach that point, we'll be halfway. And then there are a few other things to see on the second half of the loop. Maybe that's why Keith is trying to name some of the structures in the first part of the loop. Would be nice. It's nice to have different points to go to look for, and that way you know about how far you've traveled, how much further you have to go. That's the part I like to know. We just went out to the Tower Bridge and had a little snack and sat for a little while. The pictures and video probably aren't going to be as awesome as it actually looks, just because the sun, it's about 1:30, 2 o'clock, so the sun's up high. We are about to the top of the ridge, and put a few signs here. So we just finished the Fairyland Trail. We started at Fairyland Point. We saw the Tower Bridge. and I'm ready for dinner. The last couple of miles of an 8-mile trip are pretty difficult on me. So when you're doing a canyon, you've got that easy part going down, flat at the bottom, but the going back up. Is this the right way?
Yeah, 2.5 miles.
So I thought we were closer than we were. We are out of the canyon, but now we have a 2.5-mile rim hike.
We're debating on pizza at the little pizza place near Bryce, or we're heading out to the Pines, which is out on 12, which is kind of, I guess, a semi-famous restaurant around here. They have a sign for homemade pie, which sounds awesome right now.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up the rim trail, which is the last part of the Fairyland Loop. It's actually more rugged than we were expecting. I thought it'd be much more of a flat, kind of, basic trail. And instead it actually climbed a few hundred feet and descended back down a couple hundred feet. But it's pretty. It's something definitely different. I think this rim trail goes all the way around the rim, maybe like 11 miles, all through Bryce Canyon. So we're only hiking a 2.5-mile section of it to complete the Fairyland Loop. But it's been very pretty, but definitely a little more rugged than we were expecting. So just be aware of that if you end up doing the Fairyland Loop, that this is not an easy out. It's easier than the rest of the hike, but you still have to do a little bit of work. But payoff's awesome because you get a nice kind of final view of the Bryce Canyon area, and you get to see parts of the trail that you hiked along the way. Kind of a great way to end the day. Almost back to the Jeep. Just finishing up this last little section. We had to park away from the parking lot this morning because it was packed. So what'd you think?
Not right in my face.
It needs to be. Come on. She never gave me the camera. Here.
What did I think? The hardest part is just not, for me, is not knowing how much longer you have to go. I need to know all the facts. I want to know exactly where are we on the trail and how much longer and how many more hills. So if I know that, then it's a lot easier. Not as many people come and do this loop, so we like that. Doing things that are not just the one thing that every single person does when they go there. We like to do that plus other things.